So we'll be doing the humming. So keep the body loose and relaxed. The back and neck will be straight, but not tensed. And make a commitment to yourself that I will put my total energy into this meditation. I will put my total energy into the humming meditation. I will put my total energy into the humming meditation. Doing it as though I'm doing it for the very first time. I'm meditating for the very first time with that freshness, leaving behind all the experience that you have had before, just starting completely fresh with that state of the mind. Let's all start with the humming. Bring the intensity to the humming, and with that totality, make the humming sound. Remember the intensity of Shiva, and with that intensity, do it. and relax. Relax. And now is the time we go into the technique. Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. We'll do a breathing technique. So the technique is very, very simple. Very, very simple. I'll just read the technique and explain it to you. And then we do it together. So in response to Devi's questions, Shiva replies, Radiant One, this experience may dawn between two breaths. After the breath comes in, down, and just before turning up or out, the beneficence. So the technique is this. When you breathe in and before you breathe out, there is a very tiny gap, very, very thousand of a second maybe, very tiny gap. In this small gap between the incoming and the outgoing breath. So we'll be turning our attention to this small gap in between the incoming and the outgoing breath. So if you're really attentive, if you really take your attention as you breathe in, just be very, very attentive. Otherwise the gap will be missed. Be very, very attentive. Go along with the breath as you have completely taken the in breath. Just before you breathe out, there is a very tiny gap. All you need to do is just realize this small gap. So we can all do this together. The same gap is when the breath is out, completely exhaled, and before you breathe in. So between the breaths, just be aware. Just be aware of this tiny gap. So we'll all do this together. Taking an in breath. Not making an effort to change the breath or the breathing pattern. Tantra is very, the approach is very, very surrendering. So this is totally effortless. the mind will make every temptation to immediately change the breath, because the gap is the death of the mind. But you simply do it. The more attentive you are to the breath, the more relaxed the breath will be. Once you get a taste of this gap, it is so magical. Be aware, be aware. Just fall in tune with the breathing process. And there is nothing to do, just falling in tune. The thoughts are not important. What comes up in the mind is not at all important. The most important is the breath. So just tune into the breath. And now a slight variation of this method. Do the same thing that you are doing now, observing the gap. But now do it with love, do it with devotion, and feel the ecstasy as you feel the gap, as you are in tune with your breath, showers the ecstasy. When you do this process with a lot of love and devotion, it brings a different level of ecstasy within. Again and again, each breath gives you the opportunity to touch the point which joins the body and consciousness, your real center. Touch it. Even one moment, if you touch it, it is so enlightening and so this grace will be showered. That is why I do this process with a lot of love, a lot of devotion, and it will be very easy to realize the gap. Whatever goes on in the mind, the psychological aspect, just completely surrender the mind to the breath. Don't pay attention to the psychological process. Neither take interest nor be concerned nor try to stop it. It will go on its own. Just put your heart into the breath that comes in and goes out. Not only you will realize the gap, but also realize the prana that flows within as you breathe. And the prana relaxes you, relaxes the mind, harmonizes the mind, gives you a taste of who you are, your inner reality. This is somras, somras. No wonder Shiva dances in ecstasy, many experiences. Just ride on this wave of energy, this group energy. Nothing to do, just simply being in tune with the breath and enjoying, enjoying. And now is the time to do the second technique. The one technique is enough, but still, we'll go into the second technique, the technique of attentiveness. You can continue to keep your eyes closed. The technique is again very simple. Attention between eyebrows. Let the mind be before thought. Let the form fill with breath essence to the top of the head, and there shower as light. I'll read it again. Attention between eyebrows. Let the mind be before thought. Let the form fill with breath essence to the top of the head, and there shower as light. The technique is like this, focusing the attention in between the eyebrows and the Shiv Netra, the Shiva's eye. And the technique says, as you become aware of the third eye, attention focused in between the eyebrows, then you become a witness and the thought of your thoughts. You become a witness of your mind, of your thoughts. And this is the point when let the form fill with breath essence. The breath essence is prana, prana energy. Prana energy is the essence of the breath. You will feel the prana energy when you are fixed in the third eye very easily. Prana is the essence of the breath. What we breathe in, the oxygen is just the container. The content is prana. So you feel the prana and you will and imagine that you are receiving a shower of light. Shiva says, as you become aware of the third eye, whatever you imagine becomes reality. This is the power of the third eye. So when you imagine the showers of light, love, imagine that light is entering from the top of your head, showering on the top of your head, and it will happen. So we go into the method, taking the attention to the top, in between the eyebrows and the Shiv Netra. And not trying to do anything, just simply fixing the attention in between the eyebrows. Make no effort, make no effort, simply be so surrendered that if it happens, it happens. Doesn't happen, no problem. focusing all the attention on the third eye. Realize the breath essence. Feel the prana. Attention between the eyebrows. Let the mind be before thought. When your attention becomes fixed in the third eye, many things will happen just by itself. Experiences are not very important. Just, just be focused on the third eye. And when you are absolutely fixed and relaxed, feel the showering on the top of the head. Feel the grace showering on you, and it will happen. Tremendous grace is showering. The grace of Shiva is available. Receive it. It is not coming from any source. It is just there, coming from nowhere. And the final technique, this will take us even a step deeper. Lie down as dead, enraged in wrath. Stay so. So you can all lie down just as though you are completely dead. Lie down as though you are completely dead. The body is no more. You are pure consciousness. Whatever emotions come, just be completely swallowed by it. If you become fearful, be fearful. You cannot do anything now. Anyway, you are dead. So let whatever emotions come to you, let it wrap you completely. If you feel fear, become completely fearful. You are dead, so you cannot do anything. Don't bother about whatever goes on in the mind. All the compulsive behavior of the mind, let it go on. Yes, realizing you are not this nature of the mind. You are not this compulsion. You are not this fear. You are not this anger. You are not this boredom. You are not this negativity. You are not the psychological process at all. Lying as dead, feel you are standing out of your body. The body is no more. And you are observing it, observing your own dead body. You are pure consciousness, and all the manifestations of it you are witnessing, the compulsive behavior of the mind, the thoughts, the emotions, everything you are witnessing. But that is not your real nature. The real nature is this witnessing consciousness that you are. You are this being. You are this effortless consciousness. The more you enjoy this relaxed state of the being, the easier it will be to witness. Whenever the temptation arises to do anything with the mind, just know that you are dead. Just say stop and know that you are dead. Immediately you'll be thrown back to your awareness. That is so effortless, so natural. It is available now, here. Let this energy dance within and manifest as joy. Only one thing to be remembered: the more happy and joyous and relaxed you are, no effort will be required. Ramana Maharishi used this method, and he left his home. He was never the same person. This is the miraculous capacity of this technique. Now be in this state. I'll be playing a music. You can just tune, dance, whatever you feel like within. Just relax, enjoy it. Nothing to do. Just feel the expansion within. Don't hold on to this silence. Feel the expansion. Share it. Enjoy it. Let it dance within you. Let this silence become an expansion within you. Share it, enjoy it, celebrate it. Don't hold on to it. Thank you, Masters. Thank you, real Master, which is within, who is always ready to guide you. Namaste. Thank you, and thank you, friends, for joining. And
Abhishek ji, can I ask a question?
yes.
It's about the first technique, the breathing technique. So when we inhale and then there is a tiny gap before we exhale. So do we need to stop there, or it should flow naturally and we just need to feel that gap, and then again the cycle goes again? After we exhale, there is a gap that we need to feel. So sometimes I try hard to stop and feel that gap. Is that the right way to go about it?
No, so we are not stopping the breath. So this is the difference between yoga and tantra. We are not making any effort here. Like in yoga, there are some techniques where you try to control the breath. But in tantra, in this technique, we are not in any way changing the breath, just observing that tiny gap. If you try to put an effort, then it will go in some other direction. So the temptation is there to realize that gap, but practice it more and more and you will get it.
Right. And just one more question about the gap. So it has to be observed at both points, right? It should be observed at both the points, once we inhale and then after we exhale. So
yes,
at both the points, right?
At both the points, yes.
Fine. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for the session. It was very, very helpful.
Thank you. And my experience, just to share with you, is my experience doing these techniques is when you really go into these techniques after doing a lot of active meditations, when you are ready for it and you go into these techniques, automatically these techniques will reveal what the inherent essence of these technique is. So on the surface, it may appear just observing the gap, but this is just on the surface. When you go into it, there is a lot, the essence will be revealed to you.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, friends. Thank you. Enjoy the Sunday. We'll meet again.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Abhi. Very, very beautiful
Thank you,
session. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.